Welcome, my friends, to match number 2 of our doubleheader this evening. Another Tier 3 matchup here in the console Overwatch multi-tier tournament between Danny Defeato and Guardians. My name's Bull Skunk, alongside the best of the best, Chef Billy, here to bring you all the action. Billy, what can we expect to see from these two teams here today?
There's going to be no love lost between these two teams. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
A rivalry in the making.
Oh, no. There's a rivalry there, and it's all because of off-season drama and such like that. But the drama does not come here to the playfield, or does it? So, on the side of Danny Defeato, former members of Memento Mori Tier 3, basically a lot of them came over from that org and formed the new Danny Defeato Tier 3 that replaces the Tier 3 team that moved up to Tier 4. So, you've got a really good, solid hallmark of the Danny Defeato name, which is the tank line. Tank lines have always been super strong from top to bottom for Danny Defeato. So that's something that we're going to be looking at with the tandem of Raven and Airborne. And then on the other side, Guardians. Memento Mori was an offshoot of Guardians and put together by Airborne. So there is a little bit of a heated rivalry going on between these two. And now we finally get to settle it onto the field of battle where the battle really belongs.
It's exactly.
So we get to see this.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Billy. Like putting that drama right where it belongs. Leave it all on the field and leave nothing else behind.
And I look at Hairball. Hairball is one of the standards of our community. Controversial at times, inspiring at times, make you pull your hair out at times, but altogether one of the best people in the CGL, and nobody can at me at that because I truly believe it. He's been there for the community since before it was CGL. He was there in the OXC days, so he's one of the OGs like me. So I look for him on the DPS to absolutely be slaying today, and with the chip on the shoulder, with all the other stuff going on, I think this is going to be a very intense match. Also looking at the healer line, Austin Trox, I saw him with Guardians many times throughout the past couple of seasons. He is a very good healer. Sleepy's Mouse is on the bench right now, but he is also a fantastic flex healer. So, it's going to be a barn burner. I'm hoping that I hope it gets as nasty and as gritty as I really hope that it'll be. Other than that, they're coming in. Yeah, this has the makings of one of the biggest rivalries in CGL right now. I'm so freaking excited right now. And Airborne did get back in here, so we do have our lineup set. I wanted to bring Danny Defeato comes in with a 1-0 map record. They won all 4 maps against. Oh gosh, I forgot to write down who they played.
Yeah.
Well, Guardians come in on 0-1. They lost on map 5 last week, and that they have a chip on their shoulder from that coming into the match today. So I think that they've got something to prove. I think Danny Defeato's got something to prove coming off of all the off-season stuff. This has the makings for a barn burner.
An absolute
I want
inferno.
to see it.
Yeah.
I want to solo alt just for solo alt's sake. I want to see it. So,
well, our map pool today, as you can see on your screen, we will be starting off with Busan here for our control map. Going into King's Row for Hybrid Horizon Lunar Colony, everybody's favorite map in space, will be our assault map this week. And then Havana, your escort, to round out our 4-map set. Of course, if we do have that elusive tie after 4 maps, we will be heading to Oasis this week for your tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some interesting hero pools this week. Billy, who are we not going to see on the battlefield tonight?
We're not going to see the mechanized Korean diva. We're not going to see Soldier and McCree and Sombra and Widow for the DPS players. And then on the healer side, the all-important Immortality Field.
Baptiste is no longer in the lineup. Oh,
I'm sad.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you keeping track at home, that is six hero bands out of the pool this week. And it has made for some nutty compositions. We saw a matchup earlier tonight. I think we saw every tank combination under the sun, minus Sigma. And it served both teams well. They seem to utilize the strengths, especially that Roadhog coming out of nowhere. So be curious to see what the strong tank lineup of both of these teams have in store for us today.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be tank lineup versus DPS lineup. I think that's what we're going to see.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely keeping a sharp eye on Airborne and Raven there for Danny Defeato. Known, like we're talking about, for their excellent frontline play, creating space. But we'll see. We'll see if Hairball and Atypical Space are able to come through, find the picks, get their team that edge. Either way, this one's going to be extremely close. Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of Pharah this week, and Pharah seems to be definitely the go-to hero for the DPS lineup. Who do you think is going to have a better chance? Who do you think is going to utilize that Pharah to the most of their ability?
If I know zombies correctly, he has a very nutty Ash, so it may be DPS versus DPS there. I don't know. I think that I give the slight edge to Guardians, honestly, because I know what they can do in the DPS department. I'm not so sure with what Cryo Overlord brings to the table, as I don't know personally how he plays. But I do know I have seen zombies just absolutely crush with Ash. So there you go. It could be stalemate. It could be one side rules the other. But we're going to get into it now, as I do have the cat ready from both the captains. So here we go into Korea. Busan.
Yeah. Heading to Busan.
Get ready to see which map will pull up first. I always love this part of it. You never know which map you're going to get first. So,
and all three of them are so drastically different.
Mecha base.
Mecha base to start things off here in our Tier 3 matchup. Danny Defeato looking to continue their undefeated map streak, while Guardians looking for their first win of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they still got 2 map points onto their scoreboard or their score sheet. So, even when it comes down to it, later on down the line, I have no doubt that Guardians are going to win some matches. This is going to play into their favor. Even though they didn't get the match win, they did get map points.
Indeed. Going down to that map 5, like you're talking about, that has to hurt. That's got to sting a bit. And they're coming out looking for some vengeance here. Looks like we are going to get a little bit of Ash Reaper here on the side of Guardians, starting us off in the red jerseys with Reinhardt Zarya to protect that front line. We're getting Ryan and Hammond out of the side of Danny Defeato.
Interesting.
It looks like they're just hanging out in their spawn. Do we need... Okay.
I think they used the Moira to scout.
Okay, they were just scouting ahead. Nice. Making sure that they wanted to roll out with this composition here before leaving spawn. You gotta love it. As Airborne is going in right out of the back, dropping those shields down, putting a little hurt down onto the front line. But it is Austin Trox drawing first blood here in our matchup tonight, taking the Moira off the field of battle. And along with it, the primary source of healing here for Danny Defeato. Raven striking right back, though, picking up a kill onto Hairball. 5v5 here in our opening engagement. Big slide coming in from Airborne.
Yeah, big trade of a personnel there, but in the interim, Guardians does take the point.
And Atypical Space, a big part of that, coming up with 2 big picks. The front line finding a pair between them as well. 3rd pick on the board there for Atypical Space here on the Ash.
Oof.
Yeah, that was gnarly. And look at these ultimates. Hardline already 82% towards a shatter. Danny Defeato looking to come back in. Second engagement, a little bit of recontest. Raven close to a shatter of his own. As they go toe-to-toe here, shield to shield at the top. Guardians just holding this door, though, and holding it well. 3 kills coming through, and it's back to the drawing board for Danny Defeato.
Yeah, and Isolated Zombies got a little bit caught out there and was able to blink back to his team. You've got a 4-pack, almost a 5-pack of ults available for Danny Defeato. So, using these ult management here is going to basically dictate the course of what happens here in the next couple of minutes.
Here comes the tire out from Danny Defeato, but Sound Barrier there right on time. Finds nothing. Coalescence coming out from both sides. Mine dropped it from Danny Defeato, as well as an Earth Shatter into the mix. As the dust settles, it is Author coming up with the 2 picks on the Zarya here for Guardians. Still holding that Graviton Surge in his pocket. We did have the Sound Barrier tossed in from Danny Defeato as well, as they're trying to strike back. Webhead picking up a kill before going down. but I don't know if they have the reinforcements to sustain. Hairball coming up with a big pick, and Guardians holding on here with 85%. One last shot for Danny Defeato in our opening round.
Yeah, and Eva choosing that honor is a better part of Valor, getting out of there and getting back to his team. However, Webhead is just basically going to touch. He's going to be swarmed very, very quickly there. That was kind of a mindless death, I think.
Yeah, Hairball coming to the big pick. Hardline is going to charge and take out the counterpart. Reinhardt, Death Blossom thrown right into the ejector for good measure. And it is Guardians taking a swift 1-0 lead here on Busan.
Well, I think that just sets the tone for what's going to go on right now. They're going to get up in Danny Defeato's face and start punching. And right now, that stiff left hook from Guardians gives them a 1-0 lead here in Busan. As we head to Sanctuary, Danny Defeato's got to get woken up. Yeah, take another shot of espresso, get another Coke in you or something, because you look sleepy on this first map. And I question some of the moves that were being made. The tracer was ineffectual. I didn't see zombies light up the score sheet at all. One pulse bomb that went for naught.
Well, now Danny Defeato coming back. Zombies staying on that tracer. Cryo Overlord onto the Pharah here. With, of course, the Mercy there to pocket and keep it alive. And we're getting the double shield composition coming out of Danny Defeato. Guardians sticking with the Ash Reaper here. Hairball going in, looking for something, got halted away. Cryo Overlord finding first blood. Start us off here on Sanctuary. Takes that Ash out. Takes the Reaper out as well. Cryo Overlord finding both DPS with rockets. Turns attention onto the Mercy. Mercy goes down. And it does look like Danny Defeato answering right back and getting some percentage started here. Oh, nice exit kill coming from Cryo Overlord onto that Lucio. As we get Hairball swapping on over to that Doomfist. I think looking to go in and find a little bit more pick potential. No ultimates to speak of just yet. Raven does have the closest, I'd say, here, along with the Nano Boost. So Danny Defeato with the tools to hold. Cryo Overlord's fairly close to a barrage as well. He's trying to rain some rockets down into that backline. Looking for either the Mercy or the Ash, whichever opportunity would present itself. Meanwhile, Reinhardt's going shield to shield. Nice anti, coupled with a nice rocket. Takes Hardline out of the mix. Quick 2 kills coming through on the far. Looking for a third. Finds the third. Nice rocket there. And Danny Defeato maintaining their control here on Busan.
Yeah, that was a very good series of kills coming in. Staggered out nicely. Hairball swapping over to the Doomfist, already 50% towards his Meteor Strike. You've got almost a 5-pack of ults, or 6-packs of ults ready for Danny Defeato. They're just holding firm on this point, just saying, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and bunker up here, and we're good.
Yeah, Guardians, I'm not quite convinced on this Doomfist-Ash combination, but we'll see if they can make it work. I feel like they've got two different strategies going at him, and right now Cryo Overlord picking up some goods with the Barrage Airborne, following up with a pair of kills of his own. Here for Danny Defeato, still holding Supercharger in his pocket, doesn't even have to use it. Trying to find the exit kill now onto the Reinhardt. Atypical Space picking up a little bit of a moral victory, takes the Pharah out of the sky though.
Yeah, that's the second time that he took Cryo Overlord out of the sky. No res available at this moment. So yeah, this is crazy. Big turn of events. It's 95-0. There may be time for a recontest, but it could be a wide mash here.
Hairball is able to touch and get that overtime started. Big Sleep coming onto the Reinhardt to delay his entry back onto the objective, but he's going to return and throw down an Earthshatter, but not before two of his teammates, both of his healers, in fact, go down. He tries to charge in, but a nano-boosted, supercharged airborne on that Orisa made short work of him, and Danny Defeato made short work of Sanctuary.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. Big swap coming for Cryo Overlord, though. Swapping over to the Pharah. Instant value from that winged Egyptian for Danny Defeato. So here we are, 1-1. They came back with a vengeance. They got their own 100-0. I think they're here to play. This is what we were looking for, ladies and gentlemen. All the marbles here for map 3, here on map 3 for the first map point of tonight's match between Danny Defeato and Guardians Tier 3.
Looks like we are going to see Sigma for the first time tonight. As we're getting the Reinhardt Sigma combination coming out of the side of Guardians alongside of May, and Space sticking with the Ash to take the Pharah out of the sky, which indeed we are seeing zombies back on the Tracer with Cryo Overlord taken to the skies, and a bit of a metal dive coming out on the side of Danny Defeato.
Oh, missed pile driver there, though. That was unfortunate coming from Airborne. Slumbies taking out a typical Space to counter for the Pharah. So now Cryo is going to have all the room in the world to just start laying waste here.
Despite that, Guardians are getting their feet planted on point, but Danny Defeato doing a good job of surrounding him. Nice rocket comboed with the Conch Blast. Finds a good double kill. Cryo Overlord! Slow down, man! Slow down! Holy
You need to calm
cow.
down, sir. I'm going to need to speak to your manager, Cryo.
4 kills there on the board. For Cryo
Raven
Overlord
going in
on
and
this
cleaning
Pharah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raven going in there on the Winston and just cleaning up hardline chart in the little mini room over there and just zapped him out, and that was securing the whole point there. Cryo Overlord getting such big value on this Pharah right now.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if Atypical Space is able to counter him as he's going to shotgun up the top. Here comes the barrage, but Space is right there waiting for him and picks him out of the sky, point blank range. A little revenge kill coming out of Raven, but he sacrifices his life in the process. Zombies trying to strike back with the pulse bomb, but I don't know if Danny Defeato has enough in the bank to hold here. It's a dwindling fight for both sides. Looks to be a 3v3 on this objective. Airborne on this wrecking ball, going in, trying to stall for as long as possible. Danny Defeato could just stay alive here. They could buy a lot of time.
Absolutely, you know, and the May on the point. Oh, that's a huge kill for Raven, taking out Harry Ball on the May. Zombies getting a kill onto the heels, and a quick res coming out from Austin Trucks onto heels on the Moira. So, I mean, 55% and counting, and there's no flip yet. So right now, Danny Defeato is getting lots of value out of the heroes. This metal dive is actually working to perfection right now.
Yeah, Hairball going down with that Blizzard in his pocket. It does mean he'll be able to return with it here as the front line of Guardians just moving right on the objective. Here comes that Blizzard. 2 kills coming through. Atypical Space landed shots, landed the TNT. Hairball picking up the kill onto Lucio. And that's a quick 3-man, 4-man advantage here for Guardians as they look to get this retake.
I mean, they just flipped it now. I thought that Airborne was going to be able to stay there and contest longer, but he actually swung too far out of range and ends up going down to the triple threat of the Orisa, Mercy, and Roadhog combo there. 85% on the board as Guardian starts getting their feet set here on point. And the swap from Uvial Author, we're just going to call him Author from now on because that is a tongue twister and a half. We are, swipping over to this Roadhog has been a big move for them.
Now we do have Danny Defeato going to the Ryan Zarya, just brawling here on this point. Kills straight out, start things off. The Bob coming in on the side of Guardians, accompanied with a supercharger, and that's going to yield them a whole host of kills. Rez does come through on that Ash just to bolster those reinforcements even more, and with 41% and counting, they're maintaining control here in downtown.
Yeah, Hardline Chart also invested the supercharger, and Author actually used his whole hog there as well. So that's 3 ultimates right there off the board for Guardians. So Danny Defeato, they've got the moves ready to go to be able to take this point and take the match here. But too early show.
Cryo gets picked out of the sky. Airborne was desperately trying to get a bubble on and just couldn't quite make it, and that leaves Airborne by himself on point. The wall there to deny the retreat. And a quick 2 kills coming through as Guardians, 75% on the board and counting, and they are maintaining this dominance here on downtown. And we might be down into 1-fight territory here.
Yeah, I think we are too. And Author got a nasty hook onto Cryo Overlord with Barrage in his pocket. That may have actually helped his team, though, because I think he was going to try and maybe hero one out there. Yeah, it was forced him to regain with his team. And here comes the, yep.
Oh, and typical Space with a nice shot taking the far out of the sky before he could use that barrage. Earthshatter coming out from Danny Defeato, but there is no follow-up there. Blizzard was thrown into that as well. Coalescence coming out on the side of Guardians, and I think they might have done it here. As the overtime wick burns down, they didn't lose a single person in that last engagement, and they have taken the first map off of Danny Defeato here in Season 7.
Yep, that is the first map loss for Danny Defeato here in Season 7. on the back of some great plays of Cryo Overlord. Big barrage here from him. But yeah, in the end, just too much from Guardians. Big swaps coming from him, and we will be back with you guys in just a few moments.
Welcome back. Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament. My name's Bullscope alongside Chef Billy, bringing you map 2 here of our tier 3 matchup between Danny Defeato and Guardians. Guardians taking map 1 there on Busan with some nice late map heroics. After a bit of back and forth, Guardians emerged victorious. What was the difference maker there in that last map, Billy?
I think Author swapping over to the Roadhog, the sustainability that he has using his breather, and hooking Cryo Overlord out of the sky 3 times. I think that was the biggest move for them. They also swapped to the Orisa off of the Reinhardt, so a bit more of a controlling character that was able to kind of dictate where they were going. So I think that's what I saw there. I think Danny DeFeato's Ice Slay Zombies was stuck on the tracer too long. I think something else could have been brought out. I think a Junkrat on the ground would have created a lot of havoc for them. Since they did swap off the Zarya, I think that would have been a perfect swap for them, as they wouldn't have been building up ultimate for a Grav and the energy for the Russians. So that's what I saw. I think that this is going to be a barn burner because nobody wanted to relinquish control of anything there. They had 2 straight 100-0 wins, and then the brawl broke out on downtown. I think that's what we're all looking forward to. We're all getting very excited for. That's what I'm getting excited for. So I do have the ready up for both the captains. I'm going to send us in here to Kings Row, jolly old England.
Before we get into that, it looked like we did have a sub coming in, speaking of, as Ice Slay Zombies heading onto the bench, and it looks like Danny DeFeato's going to sub in Jirachi Legends there in that DPS role. As we are heading into Kings Row here for map 2. Be our hybrid map here for this week, and I think this is such a big indication of how the rest of this series could go. I think if Danny DeFeato bounces back here, they could build some momentum, but we shall see. We shall see.
We shall see. We all know that Danny DeFeato loves this map in particular. They've had so many iconic matches throughout the tiers on this map, so I'm hoping that Tier 3 does this map honor as the other tiers have done in the past. But also Guardians has had some fantastic Grad Dragons on this map. I have seen 2 that I can remember in memory that have actually won points, won matches. So it could be anybody's match here. This is going to be a bang-a-gong get-it-on moment right now.
Yeah, we will have Danny DeFeato starting us off on the defense, bringing a little bit of Reinhardt Zarya with Junkrat and Ashe to put the hurt down. Lucio and Ana keep the team topped off on the other side. Guardians bringing us Reinhardt Sigma. We are getting our favorite shoeless character over there on the side of the offense with the Symmetra there, which they're going to utilize to teleport up to the high ground right out of the gate. We have Hairball on the Reaper. Where are you going? You taking a page out of the Gladiators playbook here? As they're looping all the way around back. Okay, no, they're going to come back in through this point B archway and then kind of flip this thing on its head as Guardians looking more on the defensive side of the hotel and then putting the pressure right back onto the objective. A lot of pressure coming down. Webb able to keep his team topped off. 2 kills coming through from the DPS side of Danny DeFeato, but they've already given up 1 tick on this objective. A typical space, answering back, finds a kill of his own, but then Cryo Overlord looking to tilt the balance on this Junkrat, getting aggressive, throwing his mines into the mix. And the defense looking strong here for Danny DeFeato so far on Kings Row.
Yeah, Airborne just lasered down 2 members of Guardians there and just owned him. However, not to be outdone, Atypical Space coming in and taking out Airborne. So they've swapped here beam characters, if you will.
Yeah, it was a bit of a laser battle there. A little space-age laser battle between Airborne and a typical space on that Symmetra. But now a 1-man advantage here for the offenses are looking to push back in. Make that 2-man advantage as Danny DeFeato sitting there, Lucio back. But holy cow, Cryo coming through with the big 3-man tire. He said, what disadvantage? I'll show you a disadvantage. 3 kill coming through, though he does give his life in the process. Hairball on that Reaper. Looking to take advantage of this. No, goes down at the hand of the 2 tanks. But Lucio coming through to find the final blow. And I think we're going to get a bit of a reset here out of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great sequence of events there from both teams. The Photon Barrier coming out from Atypical, actually cutting off the team, getting it to take a permanent progress here. But you've got to watch it. You've got to watch what's coming out. Big Bob coming out from Jirachi Legends.
Oh, Earthshatter's coming out from both sides, but the one from Guardians landed more pace, fortunately for them. The sound barrier is there. Gravitic Flux coming out from the offense, but a great bubble, able to keep the Reinhardt alive. Most importantly, as now he is nano boosted and swinging away, just chopping at the tree trunk. That is Guardians, and I think they are going to hold on here. The Guardians put 2 ticks on the board. They don't need but 1 more tick to put that elusive point up there.
Yeah, but they've got about a minute 15 by the time his teammates get back to him, and Sigma is cordoned off from his team right now. So bit of a split that was not expected.
Yeah, no, he's up in the window trying to make the best of it, but Defeato very aware that he's there. Cryo Overlord trying to go up with the Junkrat, but drops down, and I think while their attention was focused on that back line, the front line comes charging through. Death Blossom Coalescence thrown in the mix, combines for 4 kills. Photon Barrier thrown into that as well, and that is going to be a point on the board and get this payload moving here for Guardians.
You know, and Author on the Sigma, you know, even though I don't he got up there because of the gravitic flux that he threw out there. I don't know if he necessarily wanted to land up there or not, but he actually got a lot of value from both the upper platform and then the windows, raining hell down on them. I think they took the attention off of Hairball, and Hairball was able to get in there and drop his Death Blossom, take 2 out, and get the final point. And now we're in the streets phase here on Kings Row. Iconic stuff coming up now.
Yes, indeedy. Cryo Overlord going down early, holding that Rip Tire. Taking it with him back to spawn. It will have no effect here in this engagement. Heels coming up with a big pick as well, taking out the Ana. And without their DPS player and their main source of healing, Danny Defeato is forced to fall back here, all the way back into point C.
Oh my goodness, and the staggers and the aggression coming from Guardians right now is absolutely phenomenal. They are just riding this pony all the way in here. Streets phase is turning into a bit of a snowball bull skunk. I'm not sure what they can do to recontest here, but they've got to come up with something fast and come up with it quick.
Yeah, it looks like Danny Defeato is just going to let it go. This Cryo Overlord sitting up in the window waiting for his opportunity to drop this tire. And I think it's a smart move. Get a solid reset here and see if they can stop this momentum. Oh, the tire is shut down. Hairball ready for it. Jirachi Legends does find a pick onto the Reinhardt, but we get the Earth Shatter coming out from Danny Defeato. And that finds several kills, but they're already down 2. Nevertheless, respawn advantage, of course, favoring the defenders here on this point. Oh, but Gravitic Flux coming out from the other side. Author looking to flip this thing around. Nice nade coming through from the Ana. Managing to keep Danny Defeato in this thing, in this awkward 3v3 engagement going on to the point. All right, reinforcements returning from both sides. A nice teleporter is going to put Hairball in this flank on the off angle. Picks up 1 kill with the Storm Arrows. Looking for some more. Okay, he's going to invest Dragons over the back of the defense here. I think just denying an escape. And I may want that one back as Cryo Overlord is going to find that pick. And I think Guardian's just looking a little disorganized here suddenly.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that they swapped from Eva off of the Lucio onto the Brigitte, even though she does just go down right now, was what was required. That Inspire healing is actually doing a lot of work right now.
Eva going over to the Moira here, oddly enough. Maywall coming out as long with a Coalescence and a charge out of the side of Guardians as they're looking to push around this final corner. But it is Airborne coming up with first blood in this engagement, and he still has that Graviton Surge in his pocket, tire ready to go here. And it looks like Guardians are just going to back out a little bit, kind of regain their composure, and look to push back in. And with the Sim turret set, it looks like they may have been trying to draw him in, but no luck there. Okay, here comes the tire out of the window from above. Tire takes out the Ana. That's a good start here for the defense. Nice Fire Strike coming through. Oh, and asleep onto Hardline. Maywall forced to be used to defend him. Deny any follow-up. And I think it looks like Guardians are just kind of standing here waiting for their Ana to get back.
Yeah, I mean they've got the Photon Barrier available to go, so they could actually aggress into this. Depending on how they orient the Photon Barrier itself, they could actually do a lot with this.
Well, and just standing around waiting for people to get back, Jirachi Legends able to move in on this fantastic new shock skin on that Doomfist, pick up a kill. Of course, the skin, you know, aided in that 100%.
Of course.
Cryo Overlord picking up a big pick there as well. Once again, Guardians at the disadvantage as they're trying to push in, but Author looking to answer right back. We got the Nano Boost coming out onto the Reinhardt as he's going swinging in on Raven inside by the Mega. And he is going to find that kill, but Cryo Overlord finds one of his own. Now Earthshatter coming out on the side of Guardians, turns his attention on the Webhead. Webhead goes down, nice anti on the Airborne, asleep as well. But the reinforcements for the attacking team here dwindling drastically. Oh, and the Fire Strike just narrowly misses the tire. Hardline back into spawn. 30 seconds and no reinforcements here for Guardians.
Nope, and you've got Shatter, you've got Nano, and you've got Meteor Strike. And if you nano that Meteor Strike, I think that it does a buttload of damage coming in on the unsuspecting heads of Guardians. So 15 seconds. Let's see what you got, Guardians.
Hairball coming up on that Blizzard. I think that's going to be their win condition. I think Danny Defeato's going to have to keep a sharp eye on this one. No real support ultimate to help counter this. Sneaking up, we're going to get Coalescence to start things off on the offense. Jirachi Legends going to go ahead and throw that Meteor Strike in the mix. Land on the Ash on the high ground. Space! Space, what are you doing, man? You had to have seen that coming. As he just stands there and lets Jirachi fall off him. Earthshatter coming out from Raven. That's going to clean up 2 kills. As Jirachi Legends going swinging in a Desperation Graviton Surge, but that's not going to be enough. 61 meters is all Guardians is going to get.
That play from Jirachi Legends with the Meteor Strike going up onto the Ash to deny the high ground damage coming in and the spam for the Dynamite. Big brain plays coming from the DPS player from Danny Defeato. So, 61.5 meters for Guardians. So that is your win condition, Danny Defeato. You must go 61.51 meters to get the map win.
And a tie up this match. Had us end at halftime with an even score.
I like it. I think we're going to get our map 5 today.
This is an extremely tight race here between these two teams. All right, Danny Defeato going on the offense, of course. Hoping that defense will be enough. Get him that tie. In that vein, looks like they're showing us a little bit of the Reinhardt Zarya with Cryo on the far. Jirachi sticking with that Doomfist, so they do still have time to change their mind. Meanwhile, on the defense, we're getting a little Orisa Hawk coming out of Guardians.
I think that the Junkrat right now would be so bloody good. No Zarya, only an Orisa shield. You could do some damage.
Yeah, the spam damage could really do a lot. We will get the Pharah and the Ash here for the defense, so we are going to get a little bit of a battle in the skies. You can see the dogfight begins here between the two pharmacy duos. Meanwhile, Guardians taking a slightly aggressive stance. I thought they were going to push forward into that, but I think they thought better of it, and they're going to go ahead and just kind of stay in this standard spot here in the back of the statue. Danny Defeato just kind of biding their time here. What are you waiting for, guys? What are you waiting for?
I think they were waiting for the Orisa to rotate around from the aggression coming from Cryo Overlord and kind of lure them in the back.
Well, Raven and company are pushing in through Hotel, trying to look for this flank. Meanwhile, typical space picking off both DPS on the other side. Rez does come through onto Jirachi, but the damage had been done, and while that Mercy wasn't able to heal, the rest of the teammates go down for Danny.
Yeah, and I think that Airborne and Raven need to back off and keep the charge, because Airborne is glowing like a lantern right now, and that could get him a lot of value moving into this point. I think the poking and prodding stage is pretty much over right now.
Yeah, I think we need to see a little bit more of a decisive engagement here. But plenty of time on the clock here for Danny Defeato. It's only their second go at it.
You drop the Pharah.
You drop the Pharah for
Reaper?
Oh, yeah, that one. I'm not exactly sure what the thinking is behind that one. Clearly, they're just wanting to close the gap, see if they can take care of the front line of Guardians, I suppose. But here comes the barrage from the other side, and that finds 2 before Cryo is able to get the kill. And, of course, that res will be there. Guardians back at full strength. Danny Defeato running for their lives.
Big head scratcher for me right now. I'm not sure why you so close to a barrage you swap.
Yeah, you'd think you at least try to go for that Graviton Surge Barrage combo, don't you think?
Yeah, I would think so, but I mean, once again, I think spam damage is what you need right now. You know, you either get somebody on the Ashe, which you have Jirachi on the Ashe, to kind of counter the Pharah, but you need spam damage because you're not going to break an Orisa Shield and a Roadhog with a Genji and an Ashe.
No, I don't think the Genji swap. I'm not exactly sure what the thinking is behind that one either. They're gonna struggle to build that up in time. I mean, maybe if he can get a lot of work done, he'll have it ready for this next engagement. But only $1:30 on the clock.
Yeah, the time is running down really quickly, and the healer core from Guardians is doing such a fantastic job right now.
Supercharger coming out on the side of the defense. Coalescence, Earthshatter on the side of the offense, and that Earthshatter somehow made it through the Orisa Shield. What excellent positioning there out of Raven. We did get Bob and Whole Hog on the other side, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and Danny Defeato have finally cracked this thing like an egg and should get that point on the board.
Well, Hardline Chart has swapped over to the Wrecking Ball, and I think that he's going to get there and contest. Yes, he is.
Yeah, they are going to try and contest this, and indeed, he just goes slamming on a point, gets himself a ton of shields and trying to buy some time for his team to get back here. But that's the only red jersey I see right now. Okay, there comes the rest of the team kind of filtering in one at a time. We'll see if Danny Defeato has the focus fire to take him out before they can rebolster this defense. Indeed, it looks like they will. Pharmacy taken down, Moira on point. Speaking of points, there's one on the board there for Danny Defeato.
Yeah, and that's 3 late kills coming for Danny Defeato. So this could actually be a really good snowball opportunity for Danny Defeato because they've got an ult available. They've almost got 2, 3. You've almost got Nanoblade available in the space of that minute and a half that we were just talking about. So Overlord getting the work done on the Genji. So this could be a snowball depending on what they come out with, but Hairball does have a barrage almost online that could shut down a Dragon Blade real fast.
Yeah, Cryo Overlord. Maybe it was really the big brain pick as he was seeing into the future. Nope, never mind. Hills Who gonna take him out as he goes in. You can't deflect the Moira there, Genji. Sorry about that, bud. Now we're gonna get Coalescence coming out from the offense as they're looking to push in, try to equalize here. Big hook onto Raven, and now he's in dangerous territory. Bubble forced to be used to keep him alive. He's gonna try to throw an Earthshatter into the mix, but the barrage comes out. The barrage finds Zilch. They're able to take the Pharah out of the sky. Hairball does get res. Bob coming out on the side of the defense as they're looking to try to stabilize, and it looks like they might be able to do that. Hairball got back in the sky with his second opportunity and made full advantage of it, finding himself a kill, and the defense holding on here.
Yeah, but at what cost? I mean, that they invested the barrage, and they also invested Valkyrie into that. Raven did get off a shatter in the middle of that I did not see, but you know how fast they get these here in Tier 3. So that could be coming up very soon for him.
We're going to open up a Graviton Surge coming up from the other side. Blade used in that as well. Nano Boost not necessary onto the Genji. In fact, they're going to throw it onto the Reinhardt. Perhaps help him build up towards that ultimate as he's already 96%. It looked like it was very successful in doing just that. And now Danny Defeato back in control here are Streets.
Yep, and 1:10 left on the time bank for them. So while they did get bogged down a little bit, it looks like they are going to go ahead and capture this point unless they do swap and they decide to recontest. I think they do have the opportunity to recontest, but you got to watch out for a shatter here too.
They are indeed gonna contest, but like you're talking about, Shatter online for the offense. Cryo Lord taking out Hardline before he can build his up. What a big play coming out of Cryo Overlord. Coalescence thrown in from Danny Defeato as well. Hairball had made the swap over to the Doomfist to try to get that pick, but cannot find what he is looking for there on the objective. Jirachi's gonna go ahead and throw Bob in for good measure. And we got 2 points on the board, 2 minutes on the clock here for Danny.
Yes,
okay.
Was that a fat finger?
I don't know, but now he's standing still. Okay, Raven. You do you, boo. You do you. As, I guess he saw a bug. There was a bug on the Zarya. All right. Take a little page out of J3's book there. But here we go. Now, ultimate wasted. Other shatter from Guardians? Not so much. That's going to find 3 despite the big ante coming onto him. It is not enough to dissuade that counterattack, and the defense from Guardians will push Danny all the way back to spawn.
However, if we're looking at what we have on both sides, and aggressive play coming from Guardians right now, trying to keep them pinned in the spawn area with the backward momentum of the payload going, you've got 3 big ults, 4 big ults just about ready to go. So, bang a gong.
Coalescence coming out from both sides as they make an X over this all-important corner, and Raven caught in the middle of it. Cannot survive. Airborne goes down as well. No more tank standing for Danny Defeato. And that is a quick fight win here for the defense. But that's good news for Danny. That'll buy them a chance at another solid engagement here. And they they got the Nanoblade to work with, too.
You have to think that Grav Nanoblade is the play here. Also, you've got,
They can't spend it all at once, though. They're going to need to win 2 fights to push this thing home. So they can't throw their entire ult bank in. Speaking of, here comes the Nanoblade right out of the gate. Jirachi goes down already, disadvantage. Cryo trying to answer back, but can't find what he's looking for with the blade. Nevertheless, he gets the kill onto the Lucio. Raven going in deep, picks up 1 and is chasing down the Zarya. But oh my goodness, did he overextend? And the defense from Guardians, man, they're dangerous and close to a 2-0 lead here.
You've got to swap. You've got to swap to a Lucio or something faster. 4, 3, 2, 1. They got it, the contestant.
Raven gets there, Bob throw it on the point just to ensure it. Oh, and big picks coming in early. Raven gonna smash down, and that gets followed up with a nice kill from Airborne. Earthshatter on the other side, though, finds 4. Great Bionade coming in from the Ana. Able to keep that team alive. What a fantastic play coming out of the supports here for Danny Defeato. They have finally managed to push this thing around the last corner. Cryo Overlord on this Doomfist, picking up a nice kill onto the Ashe. Now Coalescence coming in on the side of the defense. Zarya goes down. I think Danny Defeato might be in a position to win it here. No ults on the board for either team. This is going to be this is going to be a very interesting fight. And Heals giving the defense the advantage here. Overtime Wick is a burden. Who can tilt this balance? Asynchronal space. Finds the nice headshot. Nano boost coming onto the Hammond to try to make something happen. Good anti-nade into the mix as well. I don't know if it's going to be enough, as it's just one lone Hammond left on point. Here comes Cryo Overlord on the Doomfist. He's immediately deleted. And that is a 2-0 lead here for Guardians.
Okay, my heart's just halfway out of my chest right now. I don't know if I could call any more of what was going on there. Just a bar brawl breaking out there in the last few seconds of the match. Oh, man, you want to think that Raven on that deep charge going into the Guardians defense there is what was the difference there, because he oof. Man, you want to have that one back. So as we go into Horizon Lunar Colony, it is Guardians 2, Danny Defeato 0.
Well, welcome back, my friends, to the Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament brought to you by CGL. My name is Bull Skunk alongside Chef Billy, and we're tied 1-1 here at the half here in our Tier 3 matchup between Danny Defeato and Guardians. But before we get into that, I just want to give some thank yous out there. We had some big hosts coming through. Henri coming through with a big host. Thank you so much, my friend. I hope you had a great match. Be anxious to hear the results of that match. We also had Spawn 1970 coming through as well as Big Sam 12 and Ocean earlier here in the stream coming through with some hosts. I really, really appreciate it, my friends. It's huge. It's awesome. I also wanted to give a thank you to the new people out there. I noticed we had some new faces in chat, people who weren't very familiar with CGL, and I think that's just awesome. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying this awesome console Overwatch action. Going into map 3 here, we're headed to Horizon Lunar Colony, and it looks like we had some substitutions coming through on both sides. Billy, who do we got coming into the game?
Yeah, we've got Sleepy coming in for Austin Trox, but Austin Trox actually goes back in. Actually, you know what? I think I got that wrong. Yeah, so Austin Trox comes in, and then Heals Who actually goes out, and then we've got Raven, Hordak coming in for Raven on Danny Defeato's side.
Yeah, replacing that main tank role there. So that's, I mean, nothing new here for Danny Defeato. We're used to seeing a lot of versatility out of their tank lines. So, frankly, this doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, this is absolutely typical of what usually happens in the middle of a Danny Defeato match. They usually have maps that they are specifically put in for. So, this is not anything to diss on Raven's performance, just as probably map compositions coming up maybe favor to what Hordak can bring to the team right now.
We will be heading into Horizon Lunar Colony here for our assault map this week, as we are heading to the moon to see if Danny Defeato can start their reverse sweep, or if Guardians are going to go ahead and take the match win here in our 4-map set. We do, of course, play all 4 maps, as the map score is important here in this tournament. If Danny Defeato can manage to bring us back, we will head to Oasis there for our tiebreaker map.
I'm hoping that happens. I'd like to see him at 5.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And sending us back to a point that was made earlier in chat there by our good friend Ocean, what do you think these hero bans, how are they affecting these lineups? I mean, we've talked about the obvious Pharah impact and the massive amount of plays that has because there's just no counters to her, seemingly no counters to her. But how has this affected the other lineup? Like, we've seen a lot of different tank lineups here. Do you think this hero ban's throwing our teams off?
I don't know if it throws the tank lineups off because, I mean, Ryan Zarya is such a naturally synergistic pairing. I think that the McCree right now for these teams is the biggest linchpin because you don't have the flashbang. You don't have that stun ability. And I know that you could bring out Brigitte, but the Brigitte just doesn't provide enough healing to what's being thrown into them. So you can't really run the Brigitte right now. You need basically 2 main healers, or you can run the Lucio. Okay.
I mean, I noticed it just seems like our tank lines seem all over the place here today. We saw it earlier in our Tier 3 matchup, and then we're seeing it here again. We're seeing Sigma, we're seeing some Orisa Hog, we're seeing some very off-meta stuff. And I can't help but wonder if our hero bans are playing a big part in that. But I'd have to agree with you, not having the McCree, that's such a big, big opening where that's a hard counter to both your Pharah and your Tracer.
Yeah. I mean, because you're just getting so much value from those 2 heroes right now. We started seeing Genji make a resurgence in week 1. But now you really see the full-fledged run of what he can do. Basically, what stopped that last attack on King's Row is that Zarya was able to throw in a grab, which he could have deflected, but he didn't see it because he was in the middle of a Dragon Blade. So, you know, there was nothing to stop. There was nothing to counter him other than that grab. And that was the only thing that stopped them really from taking King's Row was that grab thrown in by Author. So, I think that everybody is suffering from the lack of DPS choices right now. But it's an even playing field. Both teams are suffering from it. It's who decides what to run composition-wise is what's really making the difference in this match.
And I am surprised we're not seeing more Zarya there with that Diva banned out. It's pretty hard to counter the Graviton Surge without her. But in that vein, we are getting a classic double shield. Pseudo-classic. It wasn't that long ago, but we're getting the Orisa Sigma coming out on the side of Guardians, who have swapped over to the blue jerseys and are going to be starting us off on the defense here at HLC. Danny Defeato looking to try the Symmetra strats. They're going to put it directly onto the objective. Jirachi on that Junkrat. We'll see if they can command this objective here right out of the gate, but it's going to be a typical space. Finding first blood and getting a kill on the board here for Guardians. Second one comes through. Hardline picks up one as well. Nice. Maywalt denied the retreat, and Danny Defeato cannot escape. It is right back to spawn with you, and another try here on the offense. Oh, they're staggering Mercy. Oh, the poor Mercy. The poor Mercy.
Oh. That's really hard to watch. No tactical crouching coming from Guardians on there. Kind of surprised, honestly, given the animosity between these 2 teams. I would have expected a dance party like we saw the Tier 4 team do to other people. So, yeah.
Oh, a little bit different approach as Danny's trying to teleport onto the high ground, but Maywall denies the entire team from making it up there, and they lose their Mercy in the process. Jirachi goes down as well, and in typical space, just having a field day on this high ground with this Ashe.
Yep, and I think that you have to give up. I mean, you're so... Oh, my goodness. Jeez. Quick kill onto Cryo. Almost has that photon barrier available to them.
That would hurt.
Man. And you dropped the Symmetra?
Yeah, honestly, I think that's a good play. We saw what being too stubborn can do for you earlier in this evening in our first matchup. So I kind of like the fact that they're going to go ahead and try something different. Cryo Overlord looking to match the high ground here. You know, I could be wrong. Maybe it's not the play. Cryo Overlord taking a shot, forced to back around the corner, and that leaves the front line at a disadvantage here. Guardians ready and able to take opportunity
Oh,
as it
man.
comes and find those kills. Nice rock coming from Author. Clean things up, and now, Hordak in a bad position.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh, my donkey horse hero giving the 4-legged squat. I'm surprised that we didn't see the kicking dirt emote there.
Don't give him any ideas, Billy.
I'm giving them all the ideas right now. It was worthy of it. It was worthy of it.
I can't argue with that. All right, Danny Defeato coming back in with Coalescence, and they're coming up on that tire as well, but look at this, a full 6-pack online for the defense. All right, Danny Defeato passing around the far left side from the attacker's POV. Throwing Coalescence, their only ultimate online at the moment, into the mix. Jirachi coming up with a good pick, start things off, and that Coalescence finds one as well. Excellent positioning out of this Junkrat to find a kill, but back on the front line, there is a Blizzard chilling everything on the objective. Bob took out Tire there. I'm not sure I've ever seen that happen. Danny Defeato.
I've never seen it happen.
No, I didn't know Bob could kill a Tire, to be perfectly frank. But Danny Defeato back to the drawing board with you. One last stab at this thing.
Yeah, 39 seconds and counting, and they only have basically an Earth Shatter online. They still have 3 ultimates on the side of Guardians right now. Guardians exerting their dominance here in space. Once again, typical space is just cleaning clocks.
Apparently, this is his home turf. There's a big 3K comes through for a typical space. And with just 15 seconds on the clock, the hopes of winning this map and therefore this match are absolutely dwindling here for Danny Defeato. 7 seconds. Can they even get back to touch?
No.
The Lucio got killed. There's no hope. Oh, I misspoke. What a teleport. Cryo Overlord making it onto the objective, but it doesn't last long. The Wrecking Ball does manage to follow up, and Jirachi Legends coming up with a pick. Can Danny Defeato actually turn this thing around? Hardline doing his best not to let that happen. Coalescence thrown in the mix, and no last-second heroics from Danny. That is a full hold here on Horizon.
That was a little bit hard to watch. It was so disjointed. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. I think you keep the Symmetra. You don't necessarily use the teleporter. You play as a DPS player instead of worrying about where you place your teleporter. And then you use the photon barrier to split off your side from all the damage coming in. And I think that they could have aggressed onto the point with that photon barrier and actually done some damage to them, but they throw it away with it in their pocket. And that was the head scratcher for me.
Billy, you do make some fantastic points.
I try. So I want to see what kind of defense they come out here.
Well, no. I mean, that's a match win here for Guardians. I just want to go ahead and point that out. The best Danny Defeato can hope for here is a draw, which means the best that they can hope for an overall match score will be 2-1-1.
Mm-hmm.
So this is already Danny Defeato going to be 1-1 Guardians, 1-1 in overall standings. But of course, this Danny Defeato team, you know, known for their tenacity, so I don't expect them to go down without a fight.
Oh no, this is not over by any means yet, and I know that they can full hold here. The heroes coming out here right now are those that can click heads. So we'll see what they can do. I want to see what kind of a lineup they do here.
Well, and every map point rather is also important. So it's, you know, this kind of hold here and a victory there in the next in map 4 could be the difference maker when it comes time for postseason. All right, we are getting a teleport onto the objective here out of Guardians. Good pin from a hardline, able to find a kill. Atypical Space finds a kill as well, and already a fantastic start here for the offense as they are just steamrolling over the defense of Danny Defeato, and that is going to be the map and a 3-0 lead here for Guardians.
That was just ultimate aggression. They knew exactly where they wanted to go. They basically put a blind up with the Symmetra, so the Symmetra could place the teleporter directly on point, and they didn't see it coming. Yikes. All right, so 3-0 to Guardians, match win in hand. We are going to go ahead and go to Havana after these quick breaks. Oh my goodness, so fast. So fast.
Oh, welcome back to the Console Overwatch Multi-Tier Tournament. We are headed into Map 4 of our Tier 3 matchup tonight between Danny Defeato and Guardians. Guardians, man, looking strong here. 3-0 lead as we head into Havana. And, man, I mean, that was such a one-sided affair on Horizon. That was tough to watch.
Yeah, I think that was I think that was the chip on the shoulder, not only for the mood between the two teams, but also I think Guardians felt they had something to prove coming off of that very narrow loss last week, and I think that they just brought out the big guns, and they were not going to take no for an answer, and they just bullied Danny DeFeato on that point. That being said, Danny DeFeato still has a chance to get a map point here and make it 3-1. But I mean, based off the back of what I just saw right now, the tank play for Guardians is actually what is winning them these matches and these maps. And I want to commend them for the massive upgrade to their tank glides that I have seen in the past. So, man, it's big. It's big, and they're scary looking when they move like that. Guardians is very scary to look at. We do have some subs coming in. We've got Raven coming in for Airborne, and then we've got Isolate Zombies coming in for Jirachi Lessons. And on the Guardian squad, we've got oh my goodness,
like
Black Zero.
Yeah, look like Heels came back in. Yeah.
Heels came back in for Austin Trox, and then Black Zero actually came in for Hardline.
Nice. In the support and tank role, respectively, there for Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta point out, man, this Danny DeFeato team are no slouches. I mean, perhaps they have looked a little cold here today. I don't know if they just, didn't quite get warmed up, not quite finding their rhythm here with this hero pool. Not quite sure what the issue is, but this team is no slouch. And I think it's just a testament to how good a performance we are seeing out of Guardians. They must have either really prepared or they just came out swinging here today, and it's been a very impressive showing.
Absolutely, and the defense here for Danny DeFeato, good for them. Getting up in their face, getting brawly, I like it.
I like it. They're going to put zombies on the Ash. Cryo Overlord going over to the far end with some nice opening shots. Sleepies doesn't make it out of the door before going down. And it's a very important pick and a good start here for Danny DeFeato. Cryo going to turn his attention over to the Ash. Whittled down super low. Ride super low as well. And this defense, it's a heck of a start, though they do lose their Ana in the process.
Yeah, but he does get the payback onto Hairball there.
And the res does come through. Yep. So Danny DeFeato back at a full 6-man here. Interesting enough, we got heals on the Zenyatta, who will just, as I spoke, got taken out by the Pharah. I think it's interesting to see our favorite Omnic healer here on the board for this map. Oh, but Cryo Overlord's doing work. Rain in the skies here so far on the defense.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think this is what they need. They did bring in their subs, maybe their P team right now. I don't know if that's a planned move or if they just thought, we've already got the match win and we're going to go ahead and bring our subs in. But, man, Overlord is pretty much cleaning the clocks right now.
Yes, indeed. He got Hairball on the Tracer, trying to make something out of the backline. Does get the nice kill onto Zombies. Now looking to try to turn his attention to Mercy, but the res does come up. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Raven just running for his life there. And does eventually get taken out. Oh, and a bit of the old tactical crouch coming through there from Guardians.
Oh, boy. Black Zero giving the dance. We'll just call it the happy dance.
A little bit of a happy dance, a little bit of a celebration dance coming out on the side of Guardians there as they are 100% commanding this point. All right, Danny DeFeato looks they're going to try to recontest from this top area. Coming back in with their double shield composition. Both of their tank ultimates online. In fact, quite a bit online. 5 of the 6 and close to that pop. Big charge coming out to start things off, and Cryo Overlord drops, unable to throw that barrage into the mix. Coalescence coming out from the offense as Danny DeFeato are just throwing themselves into death here. Cryo Overlord trying to go stall out, but that was a fool's errand as he is promptly dispatched of, and the Mercy not far behind.
Nope, and that was just, I think you wait for your team. I think you hold the low ground there instead of the high ground because they gave all that corner. They were still on the corner when they came back and recontest up there. They gave them that entire second corner there to come into the distillery. They pussyfooted it. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, that was not a strong engagement. And now Guardian's just trying to keep that pressure on. Cryo Overlord does manage to save Raven along with some big help from Webhead. But Webhead drops to the shots from Atypical Space. And the res used on Zombies there, so they did not get that Ash back into battle. All right, Bob coming out on the side of the offense as Black Zero returns to the engagement. And Guardians trying to take advantage of this high ground. Hordak caught in a weird position. You got to get out of there, man. Mercy doing his damnedest to try to save him, but no. He cannot run fast enough despite all 4 of those legs. Hordak goes down. Black Zero taking a little bit of a nap there, but they did manage to find the kill onto Webhead. And Guardians looking indomitable so far here on the offense.
Yeah, this is just one-way traffic right now. There hasn't been a solid recontest from Danny Defeato since the upper ground contest on the first point.
Oh, and even with the odd positioning coming out, Author's still able to find the kills on this hyper-aggressive stance that they're taking. And then they're just running the members of Danny Defeato all the way back to bridge. Hordak just finally shut it down. But how much space did that tank line of Guardians buy? Man, that was massive.
Yeah, and Hairball just threw in a pulse bomb that took Hordak to within about 20 health of his life. And there's no contest. They're just letting this payload go through because why not? There's nothing been shown so far that can stop what Guardians wants to do here.
Bob's going to go ahead and come out that prompted a Transcendence, which means that Transcendence was not there for that fantastic barrage coming out of Cryo Overlord. And the defense finally drawing a line in the sand and giving themselves a little bit of breathing room here on the back of Havana.
Yeah, I think Heels who maybe did a BM Transcendence because they haven't really been bothered by anything from Danny Defeato here. So, you know, basically trying to keep his Reinhardt alive there. But, man, this is...
Ooh, amazing pulse bomb comes out, and somehow Webhead survives that. The healing just on top of things, but in the end, the aggression from Guardians a bit too much. Author with that big whole hog in the mix. And despite a little bit of counter blows, it's Guardians taking this thing right back and trying to push it home.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, what, about 30 meters to go and 2 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock.
Black Zero going over to the Hammond here, trying to put some pressure down onto Cryo Overlord, who is 85% towards another barrage. Does finally get that barrage online. Meanwhile, back on the front line, well, comes the barrage. Barrage finds 2 before he finally goes down to the shots from the Ash. But Bob was thrown into the mix before Ash goes down. Nevertheless, the defense will manage to hang on here, I think. Just barely.
Just barely. I mean, Cryo with another massive barrage coming out for him. That's really the only thing that's keeping them in this match right now is Cryo getting his barrages so damn fast.
Yeah, definitely a saving grace here for the defense. Now they've just got Supercharger to try to fend off this last assault. Here comes the Transcendence to open things up. I guess they're going to use it aggressively here to initiate this engagement. Supercharger coming out on the side of the defense. They got to watch out for Hairball on this backline, though. Cryo Overlord is the one to find first blood. Hairball throwing his third pulse bomb into the mix and as many engagements as the teams just trade 1 for 1 back and forth. Cryo Overlord, the difference maker here, will allow Danny Defeato to hold on once again as they're going to chase the hog back out by coast.
Yep, so far they've knocked it down to about 2.5 minutes. So, you know, Ultimate's coming online for both sides. I think that this next whole hog coming from Author could be gigantic.
Raven on the front line here with his gravitic flux. Oh, forced to drop down. Whole hog coming out of the front line, and there's no kinetic grasp to absorb any of it. 2 kills coming through. Typical Space finds a big pick onto the Orisa as well. And it is full steam ahead. This is going to be 3 points on the board for Guardians.
Yep, absolutely. That was a big, massive whole hog, as I called it, coming from Author. He just led into people. There was no grasp. He waited for the grasp to wear down, and he just owned everybody in that area.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of poor positioning. Perhaps Raven getting a little aggressive there on the Sigma. Either way, Guardians able to take advantage and push this thing home with a $1.02 left in the clock.
Yep.
I mean, can Guardians do anything wrong right now? I mean, it just seems like whatever they pick is just the right answer.
I'm wondering if there's a frustration factor setting in for Danny Defeato too, because this does not look like the Danny Defeato that I know.
I'd have to agree. They do not look up to snuff today.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a compositional thing or if it's a substitute or a roster thing or if comms are not as clean as they normally are. But this is not a typical Danny Defeato performance, and I'm man, I don't know if getting punched in the face in the first 2 maps didn't knock them off their game.
Well, and I think Kings Row, as far as map pool goes, was probably their strongest map from what little I've seen from this Tier 3 squad. And once that one went south, you're right, it does seem like their mental kind of cracked a little.
Yep, I'm very I don't know what to say. I'm very confused as to what I'm seeing right now, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, everybody has an off day. Danny Defeato certainly looks to be having one today. Coming out here with the Genji Reaper on the side of the offense, but his Author finding first blood there on the Zarya. Already at 70 charge, falls into a nice kill onto Raven. And the front line of Guardians making a big impact here right at gas station.
Yep, got to watch the exits coming out from Danny Defeato, though, because they could swing around and actually do a lot of damage to him.
Cryo Overlord's going to make a swap over to the Bastion here as they are going to go out the left side this time, see if they can clean off the gas pumps here a little bit. But nope, there's going to be Black Zero with a nice charge onto Zombies. Heals picks up a kill as well, and now they're just chasing them all the way back into that door. Nice sleep onto the Reinhardt. They can have an opportunity to swarm him, and they do. Reinhardt goes down. Black Zero paying for his over-aggression and his hubris there. Zombies coming up with a pick as well as Danny Defeato tries to claw their way back into this thing.
And big anti-nade coming out from Eva, not only to heal her team, but also taking out Hairball with it. So both of your DPS coming back from spawn right now. Also your Reinhardt, who already has his Shatter online. And if you look at the ultimate charges for both teams, you can see who's being the more aggressive right now. Guardians almost has a full 6-pack already, almost to the first corner or the second corner here on Havana.
Hairball dropping in right on top of him, throws the Death Blossom into the mix. They were all lying down and couldn't do much, but Webhead with a massive sound barrier, able to keep his team alive through that onslaught. Nano boost onto the Reinhardt as well, and Hairball pays for it with his life. We do get the Earthshatter coming out from the other side. Danny Defeato gonna follow up with that kill, but they lose both of their healers. Author going into the back line, cleaning up. There was a Bob thrown into that as well, and between the two, Bob and Author, it's a hell of a combo here on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's just disgusting what I'm seeing from the DPS. And also, Author on this Zarya, I thought his Roadhog was pretty damn good. His Zarya is better than what I expected from what I saw from the first 2 maps.
Hordak trying to hold off the flank here. His Hairball was looking to go into the back line, but he got checked. And now Hordak's going back, Graviton Surge in his pocket. Was there anything to follow it up? We had Cryo Overlord swapping to the Hanzo here, hoping for a pick, and he does get it. Gets the nice shot onto the Reaper, but the rest of the kill feed, that is all red. Nano Boost coming onto Black Zeros. He once again just gets hyper aggressive here. Chasing Webhead down, finds that kill. And with just a $1.05 on the clock, Danny Defeato, things are looking desperate here.
Yeah, and I'm scared for what the mental process will be coming off of this. Should they be full held here? You have almost a full, well, you've got almost 4 ultimates online, 4 guardians, 2 of them game changers. You do have a possibility for
Oh, wow, what a massive shatter. That landed huge, connecting with 5 members of Danny Defeato. They had the Reaper slept, and the entirety of Danny Defeato turned around that Reaper. Author bubbled them and just bought enough time for Black Zero to go in and land a fatty shatty.
Fatty Shatty. Good grief. Black Zero, and he's been on the bench the whole match. He has something to prove too.
Yeah, making his stamp here in Cuba. Now we're gonna get the Graviton Shirt Death Blossom combo, and that is nasty. Oh my goodness, do these guys ever stop?
Oh my gosh, that's it.
It's over.
That's it. Oh man.
Absolutely dominant. Just one-sided affair coming through from Guardians.
Oh man, that was big from the side of Guardians. That was wow.
Yeah,
It's very rare that you and I are speechless after seeing some maps. We're kind of tongue-tied and kind of flabbergasted here with the amount of aggression that we just saw come out of Guardians. I think that was the cherry on the top of the sundae there for Guardians, winning this match 4-0, full holding Danny Defeato on the last map here in Havana.
Impressive showing here from Guardians. So both teams now 1-1, and this rivalry, well, ball is in Guardians' court here as they put up the 4-0 clean sweep against Danny Defeato here in their Tier 3 matchup. Man,
that was impressive.
That was very impressive. Very impressive. Well, time to present your MVP player of the match. Billy, which direction are you leaning here? Guardians with a lot of swaps. We saw a lot of different performances or stellar performances from different individuals. Who stood out to you the most?
Author.
Yeah.
That it's got to be Author. I mean, because he did the hog. I mean, he single-handedly saved Busan there in downtown by hooking Cryo Overlord with the barrage in hand. Playing on the Zarya, I mean, did fantastic there as well. Playing on the Sigma, doing fantastic there as well. So, I mean, there's nothing that off-tank player can't play right now, and he absolutely changed the match with his ultimates and with his excellent play. So, I give my MVP to Author.
I just gonna mirror that. I can't deny any of those things. You're spot on. Whether it be the Zarya or the Roadhog, we just saw fantastic stuff coming out of Author today, and that will be your MVP here in tonight's matchup. Well, that is gonna conclude our match tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do so appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support and all the love out there from the community. Billy, thank you as always for joining me. Always a blast. We have such a good time.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun, and I mean, this is good. This is just the beginning of the season for us. It's only week 2. We still got another 7 weeks.
A lot of fantastic stories to tell here in the CGL multi-tier tournament, and it is a privilege and an honor to get to bring you all of these awesome stories. So with that, we will say goodnight. Y'all remember to wash your hands. Let's flatline this virus. And as always, look out for each other in game and out. We'll see you next time.